In my last video, I took you guys along with me to an estate sale that had a ton of brand new old stock from the 70s and 80s. And I ended up buying a lot of stuff, a lot of really good stuff. If you guys haven't seen that video, you should go check it out. But even though I did really well at that sale, a lot of the items there were priced up, so I decided to come back to that same house on the third day of the sale for 50% off day. And let's just say I scored pretty big again. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we return to that estate sale.
Jim, Ron, Ben.
So here we are once again at the house for the sale. As you can see, there were quite a few people waiting to get inside, and the first place that I decided to go once I got in was down to the basement to check out some of the electronics that I left behind last time. Specifically, I wanted to check out this box first. It was filled with a bunch of really high-end, old-school Polaroid cameras. Unfortunately though, it looked like somebody had bought them on one of the previous days, so I didn't end up buying anything from that. However, I decided to move on to this table that was filled with a bunch of vintage electronics. Now, the first day of the sale, you guys seen, I did very well on this table, and I looked up most of the stuff that was in there. However, even though some of this stuff was marked at 50%, a lot of it was orange tags, which means it wasn't half off today, but I did end up finding this guy right here. This thing is awesome. Just look at the color of that. That screams old school to me. This is a Sharp radio cassette recorder, and these things can go for some serious money, especially if you get the right colors. As you can see right here, this one was originally priced at 50 bucks. However, since it was half off day, I got this thing for 25, and in used condition, these are going for over 100 bucks. But there aren't any currently sold or currently listed in the new condition like this one is right here. So I went on TerraPeak, checked it out a little bit, and I was able to find some sold comps for $350. So this one could go for that or even more, maybe a little less, who knows. I'm gonna throw it up there and see what happens.
How is the sequel?
This guy right here is a Merlin Electronic Wizard, and it is brand new, sealed in the box. You can see it is a little crushed over here, but that's not too big of a deal. I ended up paying 25 bucks for it. When I'm looking at these price tags, I gotta remember to chop it in half. Now, once again, sold comps on this guy were a bit hard to find since it is a brand new item from the 70s. There's not many out there. So I went back over to TerraPeak, and I was able to confirm that that is a pretty regular price, somewhere between $100 and $200. We'll call it like 150 bucks on this guy.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Came back for Sunday.
And now for the stuff that I actually came back to this sale for, the vintage clothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, as I showed you guys in the first video, I did pick up quite a few pieces of vintage clothing. However, I also mentioned that a lot of the clothing was priced up at like 10 to 15 bucks, so I decided to come back on the third day because I figured a lot of it would still be there, and I was not wrong. Look at all of this stuff just sitting there.
Pile?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna grab a bunch of these jeans today.
And as you just heard right there, my primary focus today as I'm going through all this clothing was to find as many pairs of vintage jeans as I could. Vintage denim is just one of those things that has a huge following and can be extremely profitable if you find the right brands. And speaking of brands, look at all the different ones that I came across.
Got a Tracer. Laser beams. TM. I don't know what that is. Cinema. Faded Glory, nice. Some more of the mail. Do you guys know what you're charging on clothing today? No? Okay. Okay. Challenger.
That worker right there was really awesome. On the first day of the sale, we were joking around a bunch, and she was just kind of somebody I was talking to as I was picking through the stuff. Unfortunately, though, she didn't know the prices of the clothing today. While she was going to get them, I just kept sorting through stuff and just piling up more and more denim into my bag, and eventually she came back to me and said that the jeans were priced at $5 a piece today, which I was completely cool with.
You already looked at this stuff?
I did not know. I went through these bins right here.
Okay.
Well, these ones here. Most of that.
Stuff in these?
It's sprinkled in there, not anything crazy like a ton of it or anything.
This right here is actually another reseller, and we kind of teamed up together on this clothing pile to get what each of us wanted. She was looking for kids' clothes, and I again was looking for denim, so as I was digging through my side, I was tossing stuff her way, and as she was digging through her side, she was tossing stuff my way. It just turned out to be a really good and efficient way to tackle this amount of stuff.
I picked up a couple of those on the other day. Is it like a felt material? Yeah, I'll pass on them. There's those boots you're talking about. Half price today. You were thinking about them. Can you see that pair of jeans right there?
This?
Yeah. Let's see what color they are.
There's another one of those.
Yeah.
There's another one.
I think I grabbed the other one that you laid here, yeah.
You know what they say, teamwork makes the dream work, and just as we were finishing up with this giant pile of clothing in the bedroom, the worker came back in and mentioned something pretty interesting.
I looked at them a little bit, but I'll go through them.
We put some more stuff in there yesterday,
Okay.
like that we found. So I just wanted to tell
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I'll go through there.
And obviously, that caught my attention, so I went downstairs, dropped my bag in the holding area, and then made my way to the hallway to see what kind of new inventory they could have found. And it did end up being more new clothing, however a lot of it was like the Kmart style stuff that I passed on before, but there were a few more pairs of denim that I found in here.
Yeah, there's a little old Levi's. It's not Big E, but it's still cool.
Wow. But you know what? You gave us.
There we go, look at that. Vintage Lee's. Okay.
She had to come in and help.
Challenger.
Figure out diagnosis. It was like,
And not only was it that denim stuff, I actually ended up taking out 2 of the sweaters that were in there, and both of these are Pendleton sweaters. Nice Pendleton wool women's sweaters. There you go, there's the tag right there. If you don't know, wool Pendleton stuff sells extremely well, and to find something that's vintage and brand new in the plastic, I was definitely picking these up. I think she ended up charging me like $3 a piece on these. And after that, I took this stuff down to my pile, then did one more lap around the house where I came across a box that had 4 of these Pepsi Generation Next jerseys in them. I grabbed all 4. Again, I think these were like $3 a piece. And then I realized something. I kind of forgot to go to the ATM before the sale. And seeing that this was a cash-only sale, that's kind of important. So I had to go back to my pile, dig everything out, add everything up to see what I was at, and it turns out I was at about $175, $180 somewhere around there, and I only had $160 cash in my wallet. So I had to go to the cashier. I was like, hey, I've got like $160 in my wallet. It's everything I have. Will you take that for everything I have? And she was like, yeah, that's cool. We've spent enough with us over on the last day, so we were completely cool with that.
Would you be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I spent a lot.
We've been here all 3 days.
Cool.
So in the end, I ended up coming away with a bunch of really good stuff, primarily a bunch of vintage pairs of jeans from the 70s and 80s. There were 5 pairs of these Challenger jeans, 3 pairs of these striped Faded Glories, that old striped Levi's skirt, 2 pairs of these old acid washed Bonjour jeans, a pair of these Laser Beams, some Capelli jeans, 2 Our Best Industrial jeans. These ones might be the best ones. There are 6 pairs of these male brand jeans. There's the tag for them right there. If you ever see these, pick these up. I had never heard of this brand before, but when I looked it up, there weren't a ton out there, but I did see a comp that sold for a used pair for like $90, and these ones are brand new, so this could be a very, very good score. Then to finish things up, we had one more pair of Tracers, and finally 2 pairs of these women's Artie Simpsons. And I think that's everything. I kind of threw everything in a pile by my feet. I should have been more organized, but I think I got everything. So I don't know about you, but I think I did pretty good. And I probably would have done better if I had remembered to go to the ATM beforehand. I would have stayed a little longer and looked some more stuff up. But I was happy with that, and when I exited the house, there was a line full of people there. There was probably 20 more people waiting to get inside, so I didn't want to go to an ATM and have to come back. Anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this estate sale. It was completely packed full of brand new old stock. I got electronics, I got clothing in the last one, and a ton of brand new clothing in this one. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy, please go down low, smash that like button for me. It really helps me out. It lets me know that you're enjoying this kind of content. Also, while you're down there, if you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help me out, and I help you out. It's a win-win situation. Now though, I'm going to wrap things up here, so hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Till next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace.